Noise, sound that interferes with hearing, distracts concentration, and causes annoyance and or unnecessary drama. So good morning again. True confession. Raise your hand if opening your eyes in the morning, you turn on your cell phone. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I guess this sermon is more for me than for you. Do you listen to the news while eating breakfast? Do you listen to the news while driving? Come on, how many of you listen to that? If your morning starts with listening to depressing news, you're beginning your day with chaos. It's a heavy time, and feeling overwhelmed by the state of things is a sane reaction to a chaotic world. The outrage economy thrives on keeping us angry and engaged. When the volume of the chaos gets turned up, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Preserving our own peace isn't about ignoring reality. It's about managing our exposure to it so we don't get consumed by it. The noise of our modern world makes us deaf to our own souls. It's designed to grab our attention, create divisiveness, and keep us in a constant state of fight or flight. When we're constantly plugged into the noise, we're not living, we're reacting, creating stress in our bodies and draining our energy, creativity, and joy. When we embody resilience, we anchor our stress recovery in our nervous system and body rather than overthinking. We can build resistance to stressful news and combat chaos by having the courage to turn off the noise and settle our minds into the small voice of wisdom within us and to enlist our bodies in that resistance. When we're taking in all of that distress, not only from the news, but how many of you have seen some of the other things online, the horrific, mother kills 13 children, or, Mars sends down green Martians to eat whatever. That stresses us out, not to mention the government. And it takes out our resistance and resilience to that kind of stress. If you picture a tree in a storm, it bends, its branches sway, leaves might get ripped away, yet it stands firm. This tree isn't just resisting the wind with brute force, it's yielding, adapting, using its flexibility to weather the storm. And that's what we need to do. Embodied resilience, in a similar way, describes our capacity to navigate life's inevitable storms, stress, sickness, setbacks, grief, and other significant changes. Not just by mentally willing ourselves to be strong, but by building strength from the inside out, drawing upon the wisdom held within our entire being, mind, body, and spirit. It's about recognizing that our bodies are not merely vessels carrying our brains around. Our bodies are intelligent systems, deeply intertwined with our brain and emotions and our health. My husband was a very special man, embodying the light of the Brazilian soul. He was intelligent, creative, full of music, life, and laughter, easy to live with, a great father. Everybody loved him. I was devastated when he died suddenly in 1995, 31 years ago. I felt bereft, and I didn't know how I'd be able to continue my life without him. One day, through a torrent of tears, I lifted my hands up to the universe and said, "How do I do this?" I got an answer back. Through your body. I joined a gym, took a movement course for actors. I was acting then. Walked every day and started meditating. I had been seeking answers from my mind, but that was not enough. I enlisted my body to help me cope. Our mind, emotions, and body are integrated for us to build resilience and increase our ability to bounce back and grow from adversity. After the 2016 election, I developed a stomach ache that did not go away. I don't know if you remember who became president in 2016, but I shall not repeat the name. I went to the gastroenterologist. He examined me and said he didn't find anything, and he thought probably it was irritable bowel syndrome brought on by stress. I said, but I'm not stressed. I just retired. I'm healthy, happy, busy. My kids and grandkids are healthy. So I have no reason to be stressed. Oh, wait a minute. I'm listening to National Public Radio, watching MSNBC, CNN, public TV, reading the New York Times, Washington Post, Huffington Post, doom scrolling the news online. Yeah, I guess I'm stressed. Our leaders appeared to be out of control then and now. Not much has changed, it's only gotten worse. And the news is relentless. We carry that tension in our bodies and it wears us out. I stopped listening to, reading, and watching the news. It was difficult, but focusing on all this negativity was not changing anything except me, causing me to become anxious, worried, depressed, and sick. I turned off the media, and miraculously, my stomach ache went away. Perhaps you've heard people say, I can't listen to it anymore. It's a feeling of paralysis, a feeling there's so much, too much happening in the world. In our desire to shut down, we often just turn up a different kind of noise. Doom scrolling, you know what doom scrolling is, right? You turn on your cell phone and you just scroll through the doom. Distraction, entertainment, doom scrolling. We do that rather than finding silence. In her book, Goddesses Never Age, Dr. Christiane Northrup tells us to turn off the bad news. She says, don't unnecessarily expose yourself to stressful situations and information that trigger an emotional response of anxiety, depression, or anger. Turn off CNN, constantly negative news. Get it? CNN. I tell my patients to catch up on the news for 20 minutes, then turn to something more satisfying. Read just enough to stay informed and take breaks from social media. Jack Kornfield, in his book, A Life of Balance, suggests that if we want to act wisely, the first step is to quiet the mind. If our actions are born from anger, fear, or aggression, they will perpetuate the problems. To quiet the mind, we intentionally quiet the external world and internal chatter. Only when our own minds and hearts are peaceful can we expect peace to come through the actions we take. To understand this integration of outer and inner, we can look at the life of Gandhi. Even during the most turbulent years when he was dismantling the British Empire's control of India, Gandhi always spent one day a week in silence. No matter how pressing and urgent the political situation, the day he spent in silence allowed him to quiet his mind and listen to the purest intentions of his heart. He took one day a week to develop resilience to the insanity of the world. Now, Gandhi was in contact with a lot of different religions, Muslim, Christian, and Jewish, and perhaps he took this idea from the Jewish tradition of observing the Sabbath or Shabbat. Shabbat is a weekly respite from work and competition. It begins at sundown every Friday night and ends on sundown on Saturday. Shabbat is not only a day of physical rest, but of spiritual rejuvenation. Prior to the beginning of Shabbat, we disengage from weekday concerns, which includes not answering phones and turning off all other media. At the start of Shabbat, Friday evening, there's a temple that has a cell phone bag. And as people enter the temple, they leave their cell phone in the bag and pick it up on Saturday at sundown. Think how difficult that must be. You think you could do it? But it is liberating. I can see a lot of teenagers having anxiety attacks. Observers of Shabbat look forward to the arrival of Shabbat each week to find that silence, the longing of the soul for its refreshment. Shabbat becomes a model of the way the world could be and the way we can help transform it. In his book, The Sabbath, by Abraham Joshua Heschel, he says that 6 days a week we try to dominate the world. On the seventh day, we try to dominate ourselves. This has been called the inner source of leisure. Doing nothing, being silent, letting things happen inside can be as important to us and sometimes even more important than what we commonly call useful. Shabbat rest includes both physical relaxation and tranquility of mind and spirit. When we deliberately turn away from weekday pressures and activities. Conversations do not focus on politics and the problems of everyday existence, but rather on the meaning of life and the awareness of beauty. My sister Karen observes the Sabbath. She thinks of Sabbath as a reset button. She says, the whole week I'm running around and doing things for my external self. On Shabbat, I focus on my internal self and I think about my relationship with my higher power and my willingness to let go of things that are outside of my control. It's a way of switching from doing to just being. I'm always refreshed on Sunday mornings because I took the Shabbat to create an island of silence and peace. No matter what our station in life, on Shabbat, every man is king and every woman a queen to rule over his or her own spiritual kingdom. Now, it's too difficult to turn off the media 24/7 because obviously we need to stay informed. However, we can certainly devote 20 minutes a day or maybe even one day a week to turn off the noise, to focus on serenity, our inner lives, and our relationships with each other and within ourselves. This can be both profound and healing. If we can start just one day a week, we can still be informed, productive citizens 6 days a week and fight for what we believe is right and just. So, how do we do it? Here's a brief survival guide for staying grounded. 1, treat negative noise like spam. Imagine your mind as an email box. We have to be selective about what we allow in. Sometimes we have to treat negative thoughts and some news headlines like spam. Block them, delete them, and don't let them consume our time and peace. You can also set a news diet. Check the news at a specific time every day, maybe for 20 minutes at noon, rather than letting notifications interrupt your day. Get out of your head and into your body. Garden, walk, cook. Physical reality is often much calmer than digital reality. And create intentional silence and quiet moments. Take walks in nature without your cell phone, paying attention to the beauty around you. And make a no politics zone. Last night I was at a concert and somebody mentioned the name Trump. I said, we just heard a really phenomenal concert. We're not discussing him. And even as I say that word, I could feel myself and listen to your inner voice. As we turn down the external noise, address the internal noise of anxiety and fear. Listen for that still, small voice of our own conscience, our own wisdom, which speaks to us not in a roar, but in a whisper. And finally, protect your joy. Joy is a form of resistance. If you let the divisiveness take away your ability to enjoy life, the hate has already won a piece of you. We often live as though silence is a void that needs to be filled, but in reality, it's the noise that hollows us out. Turning off the noise isn't about escaping reality. It's about returning to it. So this week, give yourself the gift of the unplugged moment. Leave the radio off on the drive home. Sit on your deck without your phone. Let the thoughts come, let them settle, and let them pass. In the stillness, you aren't losing time. You're gaining yourself back. You'll find that when the static clears, the path ahead becomes much more visible. May you go from here, not with more to do, but with a deeper sense of being. It's okay to step back. The world will still be there when you've had a chance to breathe. Amen.
If you like this video, please like us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you.